starter and thermostat for the F-150. These are brakes and rotors for the Honda we got coming in. We'll talk about the Jeep in a minute, that's on the lift. So yeah, this F-150 needs a starter and a thermostat. This one, well, it just needs my love and affection. This F-150 needs coolant lines because Ford, in their infinite wisdom, decided to make quick connect plastic coolant fittings. So we're gonna fix that up, put some rear brakes on it. This one hasn't been in the shop in about a week. We got a laundry list on that. So let's get inside and take you along. All right, so here are the parts for that 5.0 F-150 outside. You can see on the radiator hoses, we got Motorcraft hoses to go on there. See, I'm not a fan of all this plastic junk. And the issue is, it's a really common problem on these. They leak where these things are like plastic crimped onto the hose. So you can't just get this, you gotta get the whole thing, and then you stab your fingers and pray that these don't pop out all the way. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then this one, Dorman, I think, is really hit and miss. Some of their stuff's okay, some of it's not so okay, but they make an upgraded aluminum housing. This goes up by your thermostat, and this is a really problematic piece. So the Ford one is made out of plastic. This one, you can see, is made out of aluminum. So we'll get that one in after we talk about this Jeep. These axles, I'm trying to help a buddy. We're trying to get them out of there. So I had them soaking in some acetone and ATF overnight, and we're gonna try to get that off of there today. I might have to use my home vise because the big vise is gonna go there and I don't have it yet. So we're gonna try to get these off. This is going in, we're making custom axles. This is for a VW VR6 turbo swapped Civic. Yeah. Jeep Compass that we have up on the hoist today is a project rollover from yesterday. So it came in running like crap, couldn't get out of its own way. We'll talk about the issue we found with that. And then we're gonna do brakes on it. And just to piss off the keyboard warriors, we're gonna do an old pad slap. It's fine. I know someone's gonna comment and be like, it's not fine, it's gonna come back. No, this guy just replaced these rotors like 3 months ago. So it's gonna be fine. There's no shimmy, there's no wear on the rotors really at all to speak of. So it just had crap pads on it and they wore out. So we're gonna replace those. I gotta lube up that back caliper, so we'll take care of that, show you what we did under the hood. Right now, I gotta meet up with a customer that's bringing in a CRV for a 4-wheel brake job. So I'll be right back to you guys. So under the hood, all we did was a valve cover gasket. We did end up testing some coils because the reason this thing couldn't get out of its own way is because it had a cylinder 3 misfire and a multiple cylinder misfire code. Easiest thing to do, swap your coils around, spark plug if you have to, and see if the mis follows. Being as we had multiple random misfire code on this vehicle, first thing I did was check the spark plugs, and they have seen better days. Where's number 3? This one. Look at that. Yeah, they were a little bit worn out. So we replaced the spark plugs, mis went away, it was running fine. Obviously, I'm still gonna go test drive it, but we got new plugs in here and a valve cover gasket because the tube seals on the spark plugs were leaking down onto the spark plugs. I believe this was cylinder 4, this was the worst one. But yeah, there was a lot of oil pooled up in there. So go test drive it, then this one's done. All right, that one's out. Honda CR-V is in for brakes. Let's get you set up. Pinch weld. Then the ice always makes cracky noises too that don't sound good. Like, look at all that. It's rock hard, so we're just gonna have to deal with it, but should be good. Going up, look at this big old subscribe button. Hit that button. So like I said, nothing too crazy on this Honda. We already got them apart, obviously. I got the new rotors and pads right there. So we got to brush those off really quick with some brake clean, get them cleaned up. Because they ship them with oil on them, you don't want to deal with any brake noise or anybody coming back for anything like that. So nothing too crazy on this one. Just got a call from the owner over at Fargo Auto Exchange. So I'm going to go get this done. Then I got to go over there, pick up a detail. All right, guys, so we're working on the detail for this Acadia, and we had an equipment malfunction. So we're going to fix that really quick, or try to kind of explain a few equipment upgrades that we're going to have for the detailing side of things with our new situation. So let's flip you around and show you this equipment failure. Also, if anybody's wondering, this is where our project wheels are at now. The rest of them still have the tires on them. They're right there. These are for the B2000, so we went ahead and got them primed with a self-etching and a high build primer, and then we just kind of worked it out, and there were spots in here. You can see this glazing putty where we had some divots and grind marks from getting that corrosion down, so we actually filled them with epoxy. It's JB Weld. This is great stuff. Might sound kind of weird, but it's really strong, and it's going to be harder and less likely to crack than like a body filler would be. So in here, I still got to do some work on these, hence there's no glazing putty. But all of these spots were really smoothed out. Now we're just filling some little pinholes. I'll have to come back here and sand. So that's where that's at. Equipment malfunction. First, I got to get this out of here. I need 2 hands. Once again, and I'll try to get a clip in here, we're trying to get these axles apart from my buddy. They've been soaking for a few days. Heat soak, cold snow outside. We're trying to get them off. That's for a VR6 Turbo Swap Civic, so that's going to be really cool. But we need the vise. We got our Bissell Little Green here, and the problem we're having is no water's coming out of here. So I'm going to take this apart, see if there's anything in here that we can do. Normally, I can fix this by just jamming like a paper clip or a chunk of wire down in there. Or, focus, in that little hole down in the head there. You can see this thing is very well used and abused. So let's open this and see if we can fix it. And this, you guys, so like I said, I'm going to talk while I work here. We got this detail deal with Fargo Auto Exchange, which is great. I feel incredibly grateful to have had this deal made. And the deal is this guy wants about 15 details a month. So we're trying to get that, squared away. And this is a mechanic shop that we just added detailing to. So it's not exactly set up for doing details. This is a very DIY grade machine. All right, so what I suspect is that there's debris or something in this switch assembly, or this spring feels kind of sticky, so that might be dirty. See if we can get in here and clean this up. Now, obviously we got this detail deal with Fargo Auto Exchange, right? So 10 to 15 details a month. Originally, I just added details to the shop because, this is a mechanic shop, clearly, and I just wanted something else to get into and to fill my schedule. Now I'm so busy I can't really see straight, but I like doing details too, right? So again, this is like a home grade machine, right? The Bissell Little Green. So I got this, and there's a lot of people, oh, it doesn't work for details. It's too small. It's not powerful enough. Well, evidence doesn't lie. That's what I pulled out of the carpet. So clearly it works. And I got this machine for $2. This is like a $100 machine roughly. I found it on the curb, replaced a $2 seal in here. And the reason I like these machines is because they're small. And when I do mobile details, I can take it with me easy, right? Like it's no mighty vac. It might take a little more elbow grease to get stuff out. That being said, I have a new machine that's supposed to be here today because if we're going to do, this amount of details, 15 a month, we're going to have backup equipment because I can't afford to be down like I am right now explaining this to you when I literally had one more part of the carpet to do. So let's see if we can get this fixed. was fast. This switch must have just been kind of gummed up. I did get some debris out of this spring, so put this back together, get our last seat done, get this detail done, and we got about 10,000 other cars that need to be fixed. So we got to get back to work. All right, last thing to show you on this one, and then I might time lapse some of the rest of it. But one thing we were asked to do, I want to get this. What can I put in there? This will work. Monster Jam. Stupid electric hatch. I have the battery disconnected, so that'll keep it from closing all the way. We were asked to try to get this off, so I got this little tool here. It goes on like so. And then we can try to pull this off. So can't do it one-handed, but let's see if it works. Well, there's a lot of pressure on there. We're going to leave this here, put a little more penetrating oil on it, and come back. Activate squirrel piss. Okay, we'll come back, we'll clean this up, we'll see if we can get it off. All right, so luckily the extractor made it through the rest of that detail. We got the Denali done. Not a big Acadia fan, but you know, you can get them cheap, and this one's in relatively good shape with no timing codes, oddly enough. You know, maybe it just got chains done, who knows. But we got the detail done, and I will say, you guys, this has been an adjustment for me to do the details for this used car dealer because they want a really high turnaround. So what that means is before, you know, when I have private detail customers, I've spent 10 hours on a detail before, like easy. You know, if people want specific things, they want the seats taken out. It just depends on what your customer wants. But with this, being that we have 10 to 15 to do a month, I have to get them turned around a little faster. And he's just selling them. This isn't like a private owner deal, so he just wants them to look presentable to sell, and that's been really hard for me to like find a balance between going fast enough and also doing a good job. So, you know, we've talked about it. Communication's key. I've just said, you know, are you happy with the results of everything? And everything's been going really smooth. So awesome gig to have for the shop. I do like doing details. To me, they're not very stressful. Mechanic work can be stressful sometimes, and of course, very dirty. But oddly enough, I would say that detailing is more taxing on the body than doing mechanical repairs, believe it or not. I mean, there's some jobs that obviously are going to be worse than doing a detail, but it's a lot of up and down, scrubbing, elbow grease, even if you have good tools. That being said, we're going to head over there. I do have to stop at O'Reilly's because we were able to get that wiper arm off of there. I bent the hell out of my tool, but it did eventually pop off, and typical, those things corrode. I was just glad it didn't break because a lot of times when they're that stuck, they do break. But we got it off, so we have to stop at O'Reilly's, grab the new one, put it on, and then we're going to swing by his shop. All right, so we are just about to arrive at Slow Riley's. Hopefully they pulled the part like I asked them to, and they actually have it. Been down that road before. All right, we got the goods. They're right there. So next stop, the shop. All right, we are just pulling into our destination. Where do I park this thing? Let's see. Right here should be good, I think. Sweet. All right, so we're back at the shop. It is currently the next day, and we are working on putting a master cylinder in this first-gen Tundra. So we're on a bit of a time crunch today, so I'm not going to take you with on this repair. But one more thing I did want to share in this video is that we are going to have 2 new pieces of equipment, detail equipment specifically, from a brand that might surprise you. And feel lucky because the one piece I already have out in my pickup, and I'm not going to unbox it until we can talk about it in the next video. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching this video. Just wanted to take you along on another work day in the shop, update you on some projects and stuff like that. Comment if you have any questions or concerns, and as always, if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.